everybody. Happy Aloha Friday. It's good to be in Hawaii, where Aloha Friday originated from. And what do they call it in the mainland? Casual Friday. Anyway, so Levi Strauss has us to thank for why people wear khaki pants and polo shirts on Fridays. That's thanks to Hawaii. Anyway, Adrian, you want to read the first part of our intro for our guest? I'll read the second.
Our guest today is the SELF, S-E-L-F, Program Manager at Keiki Aina Family Learning Centers. He's worked with the youth and young adults for more than 25 years all over the world.
He is also a pastor, a podcaster, and a former on-air radio personality, collects vinyl records, and enjoys spending time with his family. Please welcome our guest, Aaron Larson. Welcome.
Hey, you guys. Hey, thank you so much
back.
for having me on. It's
been
been a few years.
Yeah, you've been on our Friday Lives and our radio show with the other programs that you offer. So when we had heard about this new program that you're rolling out, we jumped at it. We've got to help them spread the word.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. This is an amazing program.
Well, let's hit it right off the bat. Tell us about this program. What is SELF? Is SELF? Does it mean like yourself, or is that an acronym?
Both and. So I manage the programs underneath our Social Emotional Learning Foundations grant. And so what we're doing is we're looking at, it's been a crazy few years worldwide and here in Hawaii as well. And so Keiki Aina wanted to make sure that our families and our Keiki and their parents had the most resources available. So we have the Social Emotional Learning Foundations program, under which is a program I want to talk about today, which is our Healthy Marriages, Healthy Relationships program.
So Aaron, why would it be, why attending this Healthy Marriages and Relationship weekend, why would that be important for couples to do this?
Yeah, like I said before, it's been such a crazy time out there. And just having kids itself is, let's put it this way. Before I had kids, I had hair. I'm not saying it's your fault, but I don't have hair anymore. And I got 3 kids. So you do the math. It's a lot of stress out there for people, for parents. We want to make sure that we can be a great resource. So what this opportunity is going to give couples, even if you don't have Keiki, is an opportunity to get out of the chaos of the everyday life, of the work, of all the stresses that you have, step onto a beautiful property. We're actually able to have this in Aina at Grace Chapel of Honolulu, right on the ocean, air conditioning, wonderful location. And really, when you step into that place, it's almost like a staycation. But it's important for couples to actually come because we want to make sure that they can have time one-on-one to really reconnect. This is about reestablishing and building the friendship within those marriages and within those relationships, so that when they go back into the world, they're going to have a grounding, and they're going to have tools and information that's going to help them see transformation in their lives and in the lives of their families.
That's great. I think it's important too for people to realize, because what do we do right after high school? We spend 4 years doing it, a whole bunch of money, and focusing our attention on. It's called college. And that's for a career, but the most important relationship in our lives are marriage. And what kind of books, what kind of classes do we go to? Where's the tuition for that? And so that's what you guys are doing. You got University of Marriage going on.
So speaking of tuition, what's the investment that couples are going to have to expect to invest?
Yeah, that's great, Ann. The biggest investment they're going to have is actually the time to find childcare. Unfortunately, we don't provide childcare for this weekend. So getting that childcare if needed, and then the investment of time of connecting with your spouse or your partner. We do have a $25 registration fee just to hold your spot. We want to make sure that if somebody commits, we understand stuff comes up and maybe it's an emergency and you can't make the weekend, but we want to make sure that people are committed to investing in themselves and in their relationship. So all it is a $25 registration fee. You do that, your place is secure and you're set. We feed you amazing food all weekend. We're going to feed you dinner on Friday, lunch on Saturday, and lunch again on Sunday from a couple of great local restaurants. I'm not going to say where. If you want to know, you got to show up.
Yeah, that's pretty inexpensive. Considering, what do you think the attendance rate would be for college if unemployment was 50 to 60%?
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's where, unfortunately, it is where with our marriages and our relationships, it's challenging today. So you've got to utilize any and all resources to combat that, counteract it. We'll say counteract.
Yeah.
And Adrian, what's the next question?
So, like after this weekend, what would the couples expect to walk away with?
All right, that's a great question. And you know what? I want people out there to picture a garden. Okay, so we have a garden, and sometimes it goes kind of into disrepair. Like there's still life, there's still flowers, right? But you maybe get some weeds in there, kind of choking out the life of that. So what our participants are going to walk away with is, one, the information and the equipping to be able to weed their relationship garden. And it really begins with them working on themselves, right? Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of people that come in and they're just like, okay, so at what point are you going to be able to tell my partner what they're doing wrong? And it's not about that, right? I've been married 23 years, and I have to admit, I've thought about that as well, right? But hey, it begins with us. So they're gonna walk away with the insight and tools to care for and tend to their relationship and the foundation of their friendship. They're gonna understand, hey, what can I specifically work on individually? Because as I'm healthy, guess what? That's going to increase the health in my relationship with my partner or my spouse. As we're healthy, guess what? That's going to increase the health and the strength of our whole ohana. So they're going to walk away grounded, reconnected to one another, and with practical tools that we are going to help them set up to be able to get into a lifestyle of pouring into one another.
All right. And what kind of advice would you give couples coming into that weekend? How should they, what should they prepare? How should they? Another great question. They should prepare really their hearts and minds to work on themselves first, right? And I'm telling you, it is difficult. It's so easy to take somebody else's inventory and to say, if they would just do this, then I could do this, right? But you know what? What if they don't do that? Yeah. Right? What am I willing to invest in myself? Because that investment is in my partner as well. So really what they can do to prepare is really just get their heads and hearts set that, one, it's going to be a fun weekend. This is not like a super heavy weekend. It's going to be stretching. There's going to be opportunities where you get to connect and have conversations that maybe you had 10, 15, or even 5 years ago when maybe you first fell in love and you first met, but life caught up to you, got so hectic that you're two ships passing in the night. So you're going to be able to be prepared to step into that. So be prepared to have fun, be prepared to be stretched, and to have that one-on-one connect time with your partner, as well as, and this is probably one of the funnest parts for me, just as a facilitator, is to see the connection that we have in the groups that we facilitate. Because we had just last month, our last Healthy Relationships weekend, we had a couple that had been together for 3 years and another couple that had been together for 30 years. So to hear the conversation from the 30-year together couple and the 3-year couple, hey, guess what? They are wrestling through the same issues, communication, how to reconnect. It was great. The couple that had been together for 30 years, their marriage was strong. They had great foundational, strong foundation. The reason they were there was one of them had recently retired, and their spouse was like, they're home all the time. Yeah. Like, I'm used to them going to work and coming back. And then we connect about, hey, how was your day? They're gone. Our kids are gone and off island. We need to learn how to have just that one-on-one conversation. So you can prepare yourself by just getting in that mindset that, you know what, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to learn a lot of great tools, and I'm going to make that investment in my relationship with my partner.
That was a great example, Aaron, from a recent class. Is there any other success stories or memories that you could share with our viewers about the couples who attended?
Absolutely. As a facilitator, my team and I have the privilege of being able to watch the transformation happen in the moment. It is unbelievable. So there's been times where and everything, again, I want to say, that's why I'm not using names or even identifying genders. I just want to make sure everybody understands that this is all, confidential. What goes on between you guys goes on between you guys. But I can remember just not too long ago, one of the healthy marriages that we ran, one of the couples, you could just see as we were going through, what is your responsibility? What's in your area or circle of concern that you can control. And as we began to share as a big group, you could just see the light bulb go on in this individual where they realized they weren't making space for their partner to speak into their life or to share their heart because they were so focused on what they wanted. And to be able to have a conversation, hearing from other couples that are having the same struggles, it's transformative. We've had groups that actually, we ran one in February. That group is actually still getting together. They've got a text thread where they get together. They're having barbecues on the weekends together. So we're seeing the development of lifelong friends, which is really helping you understand, guess what? The arguments that you guys have, the successes that you guys have, so are other couples. You're not alone. And I think we all go through that. It's like, am I the only one whose spouse does this? It's like, no, we're humans. We have all the same problems and they all manifest in the same way. So to know that you're not in the boat alone, so to speak, is really wonderful.
Yeah, I just wanted to share this. I just Googled it, like pics of the chapel. This.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So what a nice location. I just wanted to share that with people real quick. The other thing we wanted to, what are some myths people have regarding these types of classes or get-togethers?
Oh yeah. So a lot of the myths that we have coming on, probably the most consistent one is that, oh, this is only for couples who are having a hard time, who are on their last leg or who have no other recourse. And that couldn't be farther from the truth, right? The other myth I think would be is that, oh, you're going to fix, I mentioned this before, you're going to fix my partner so they understand exactly what they're doing wrong. So I think those are the two main ones. And what people really rediscover is when they step into it is that, hey, you're going to find some great, healthy couples. You're also going to find some couples in there, and it might be you, that maybe need a little tender, loving care, a little TLC just to kind of readjust and re-switch there. And that because of the way that we go through the curriculum and the information, you're going to find out that, you're going to discover that you're having opportunities to work on yourself.
So Aaron, is this weekend only for couples that are struggling or having challenges, or is it all couples welcome?
All couples welcome across the board. I would say if you're at a point in your relationship where like you need some professional counseling, this is probably not the weekend for you. We're not counselors. We're here to really set the stage for you guys to connect. We have a great curriculum. It's actually based on 7 principles for making marriage work by the Gottmans. It's right out of the book. They've done like 20, I think actually 30 to maybe 40 years of research with couples. It's evidence-based. They looked at what couples are successful and what are they doing right. So instead of coming at it from we're going to point out all the things that are wrong, they're going to say, hey, there are couples out there that are doing things successfully. They still have fights. They still have arguments. But you know what? There's a lot of success in those couples as well. So they based that research and they came up with this amazing book. I mean, the book has been around for quite a long time. We got the updated curriculum.
Yeah, the Gottmans or the research scientist, he or it looks like the wife too, or a couple, but they've been quoted on TED Talks, podcasts. I've heard of the Gottmans even from from therapists. With a lot of the research that they have done. One of the things that I blew my mind that I heard is that actually healthy couples do argue. Yeah.
And you see, I think that's a big myth, especially if you're like in the first 1 or 2 years of your marriage. You're thinking like, why are we arguing? Like we're in love, and you got all the chemical stuff that goes on. Stuff starts to mellow out. Doesn't mean you're not in love anymore. It just simply means that your brain is changing, and you need to readjust to keep that deep love and grow those deep roots there. And we're going to actually help couples learn how to. I don't want to say learn how to argue, but learn how to actually have those conflict discussions, how to listen properly, right? I think that's, an argument in communication, 90% is listening. And are you hearing where your partner's at? And we're going to actually not just give them the tools, we're going to give them an opportunity to practice that.
Yeah. I think what Tony Robbins said it best, he says, during the honeymoon period of any relationship, the significant other say, oh, honey, can you take out the garbage? And you're like, oh, sure. Yeah, not a problem. And then 5 years later, oh, honey, can you take out the garbage? What do I look like? A garbage man. So things change over time.
Yeah.
And if we, I think it's one of there's a training that we have in our brokerage called BOLD, Business Objective Life by Design, and they've got 32 BOLD laws. And one of them is, and I think this may be what people should have an expectation going into this weekend, that if we change the way we look at things, maybe the things that we're looking at will change.
Yeah. And this, again, that's a great point to bring up.
Yeah.
If you have a change in perspective, a change in paradigm, then you have to adjust mentally, emotionally, and even your physical interaction with your partner too. And this weekend does that. You get to see things from a different perspective. And really, and again, that's the stretching part, right? Because we get ingrained, we get into the routine. I always like to kind of kid that, 23 years I've been married to my wonderful wife. This October will be 24 years. I can't believe she hasn't killed me or left me because, I'm just saying, I'm not the easiest person to live with. But the great part is like, I get an opportunity to learn these skills and tools and to put them right into practice. Like, so I'm held accountable. She knows that I run these classes.
You're learning,
and I learn. Yeah. And we learn something from the couples that come to this. Like I literally walk away with at least 2 or 3 new pieces of information that I use in my own marriage. I'm like, that is brilliant. I'm stealing that idea, taking credit for it, and my wife's going to love me. I'm just saying, it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
So the next date is July 28th, 29th, and 30th. What time to what time? And then what happens if, like, because it's summer, maybe people are traveling and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. It looks like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, is there other dates that they could sign up for if this July date is not?
No, they got to go to this one.
Yeah. We love people to come to this one, but we know that, hey, life happens. End of the summer, we're trying to get our last beach time in before school starts in August. So I understand how that works. So we do have 2 more this year. So after July, we have one coming up in September, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Pardon me. And then November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Now, here's the catch. This is what we're on Friday Live here, right? So people are going to need to sign up today for this July one or Monday. It would be great if they're seeing this, that you can just go right to healthymarriages.coca.org. We will get you the information that you need in order to actually sign up. And we can get you in there. We have an orientation via Zoom, because we know life is busy, where couples can actually meet the other couples that are going to be in the weekend with them, as well as meet the facilitators. So we're going to be able to kind of give them a brief on, hey, what to expect as well, answer any questions or concerns that they have as well. Now, the other part of the question really quick here was, what's the timing? So we'll send you that via email, but just real quickly for people. So it's Friday night, check in between 5:30 and 6. We're going to serve an amazing meal to you from 6 to about 6:45. And then we end with the sessions at 8:30. You're going to be off campus on your way home. Saturday is all day. Check in around 8 or so. We'll have a light breakfast for you. We'll have lunch, another great lunch for you. We'll end at 4:30 that day. And then on Sunday, we want you guys to be able to have the morning with your family. I know some people go to church, maybe they hit the beach in the morning or the gym. We want to make sure that you get that routine in there. So Sunday is check in around 12:30. We'll start lunch at 1 and we'll go to about 4:35 p.m.
Awesome. That's not much time, considering people will spend 4 years for a degree, of which 85% of us are not going to use, and have $150,000 in student loans.
Yeah. So $25 registration fee. And I promise you that you are going to use these tools after the weekend, because we're going to make sure that you understand how it works.
Here's my expectation for attendees. Bring a pen and a pad, and bring an extra pen in case the first pen runs out of ink. Because how many times we see people, we go into things like business-oriented things, and we're taking notes. If you have a client and you're doing consultation, you're taking notes. But then we go to do something for ourselves personally that's probably more of a priority, and we're not taking notes. Yeah. And don't yell at your spouse or your significant other if they're not taking notes. You know how you get them to take notes? You take notes.
There you go.
Lead by example.
Yeah. And we do provide, actually, we got about 1 million pens. So
nice.
If you don't have a pen, we'll provide. But we also have the curriculum handouts for you. And we're actually going to give you information that's going to carry on beyond it. We're not going to cover every single thing that we hand you, because we want to set you guys up for success and for taking accountability for doing that. One of the things we encourage our couples to do is during that weekend is that they look a week out and they set up a date night where what they're going to do is they're going to discuss what they learned at our Healthy Marriages, our Healthy Relationships weekend. And so we say, hey, put it on the calendar right now. You got your smartphone, put it in, know that you're going to discuss this stuff. So you're going to go into it already with a plan and at least with one date that you can follow up on with what you learned.
So give us the website one more time. And then Shane, maybe you can pop it up there. What's the website again?
So yeah, the website is just coca.org, and a little bit of information. So this is the second time that we've run our Healthy Marriages program. So the information on the website, for the most part, is correct. We are using the same information and the same curriculum, but some of the other information hasn't been changed. We are in process of working on that. So if you do go to the website for Healthy Marriages, it is a weekend. It's not over the course of many weeks. We do not provide childcare this time around, and it is not here at the Keiki campus. So just so you know, the content information is the same, but the structure is not the same on the website. That's why if you email us, healthymarriages@coca.org, we're going to get you all the information you guys need to sign up. You can call us too, 843-2502. You can ask for Aaron, and we'll walk you through the process.
Healthy Marriages at koka.org, and he can give you a call. Is that your number or the main line?
That's the main line.
But ask for Aaron, and he'll help you.
Ask for Aaron.
Yep.
And then if you say you saw him on the Friday Live with Team Lally, as soon as he answers the phone, you're going to go, "Choo-hoo! I'm here to make your marriage better."
We'll ring the bell.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being on the show. And I know we're going to have you on the radio show, right, Adrian?
Yes. Yep. He's going to be on the radio talking about this as well. So thank you, Aaron.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you guys for what you do. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah. Now we're waving.
Yeah.